The pride and joy of a nation is its flag. Its colors and arrangement makes it significant and stunningly beautiful. On Wednesday, February 6th, it's National Colors Day. Every proud Grenadian is asked to deck off in clothing highlighting the colors of our flag. Whether you are dressed for work, daily routines, or casual engagements, showcase the true Grenadian spirit. Every ministry, every department, and all workplaces are encouraged to join in. National Colors Day, Wednesday, February 6th, 2019. Endorsed by the National Celebrations Committee. Our people, our colors, our day. On Wednesday, February 6th, National Colors Day.
It's February 7th. It's our nation's birthday. It's time for the biggest celebration in our nation's history as we celebrate the 45th anniversary of our independence. Folks from all walks of life from all over Grenada will head on down to the Carriacou Athletic Stadium from 12 p.m. It's the Made in Grenada Expo, a showcase of locally produced goods and services offered on display. As you enter the Independence Village, experience steel band music, big drum dancers from Carriacou, Tambu Bamboo, Shortney, Jab Malasi, poetry, singing, live music, Solid the Band, everything Grenadian. At 3:30 p.m. military parade onto the Carriacou Athletic Stadium, followed by the Independence Rally, cultural pieces, Prime Minister's address, one fun-filled afternoon, and not to be missed. Organize your rides, your buses, your motorcade, and head on down to the Carriacou Athletic Stadium. Thursday, February 7th, celebrating under the theme, building resilience and enhancing social and economic transformation.
Prime Minister pleased that RGPF's crime-fighting rate is attracting Caribbean attention. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Thursday, January 31st, I'm Delroy Louison. Prime Minister and Minister for National Security, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, is high in praise for the nation's police officers and the positive image that the Royal Grenada Police Force currently enjoys. At a meeting with senior officers of the RGPF today, Dr. Mitchell said Grenada's current crime rate and the RGPF's success in crime fighting are also attracting the attention of other Caribbean countries. Acting Police Commissioner Mr. Edwin Martin said the crime rate in Grenada is down by 6.2% over 2017 figures. He also disclosed that Grenada is not among 8 CARICOM neighbors, which are included on the list of the top 25 countries in the world with the highest homicide rates. Dr. Mitchell said the recognition of Grenada's success in crime fighting is such that other regional countries are expressing interest in recruiting police officers from here to bolster their crime fighting efforts.
By your performance, you're paving the way for others. A lot of times we don't know it. Sometimes we concentrate on ourselves and only me, me, me. We want all for ourselves and we don't realize sometimes the job we do lay the foundation for our brother and our sister to get something. And that's why we must always be thinking not just about ourselves, but the other brothers and sisters who are not in a position to earn a serious livelihood. So this is extremely good. I am proud of this. And I also want to make the point that, remember, the force plays an important part in how the country, people, see their own country. The more peaceful, more stable, the more we are seen as aggressive in solving fundamental problems, brings confidence to the people in the country.
Dr. Mitchell underscored the importance of peace and stability in both internal and external confidence in any country. He says the police force plays an important part in how people see their own country.
It is well known that whenever there are major criminal activity drug activity and other activity in any country, the police force must, to some extent, be involved. They must have elements within the police force. I think that's a fair assumption. In other words, the least crime and least corrupt practices in the country, as far as drugs and other activities are concerned, is a clear indication of the level of the low level of criminal activity as far as the force is concerned. We know for a fact it is not completely clean because the recent events and incidents have shown us that there are weaknesses. And as long as they are human beings, there will be weaknesses. The question is how we deal with it. And it must be done impartially and, of course, without any bias relative to the individual. In other words, it could be our best friend. If he is doing something wrong, then it's simply wrong. If it's somebody you do not like and they're doing the right thing, then he's doing the right thing. It should not be based on who I like and who I do not like.
Still with law enforcement, effective criminal justice systems are crucial to neutralizing threat networks within the region. That was the highlight of a panel discussion among regional security systems member countries as they plan strategic intervention towards countering threat networks and organized crimes. Representatives from the 7 RSS member states gathered in Grenada on Wednesday to chart the way forward for 2019. The regional security system extends security and support to members to help mitigate the adverse effects of threat networks and other criminal acts. Acting Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin says in order to purge the region of threat networks, every country and justice system must understand the motive behind the network. He says the RSS must go after the assets and remove the profits from the crime.
Given the level of threat, that a more concerted effort has to be made at the regional level to attack the organizations with regional links in transnational organized crime. We need to go after the assets and take the profit out of crime. That's the only way we would succeed.
RSS Operations Officer Captain Calvert Herbert highlighted some of the trends and challenges faced in drug trafficking response.
We find that predominantly the fishermen as well were involved in the drug trafficking trade. And because the fishermen were involved in the drug trafficking trade, it was easy for the drug runners from South America to come to a fishing bank of any of the countries, hand drugs over to a fisherman who is legitimately fishing, and then he comes back into shore at a given time, not only with fish of a good catch, but with an illegal catch of cocaine or marijuana. That posed a threat for us. We then look at information sharing. And information sharing in this case, we thought was very, very important because it is this that allowed us to ensure that the security personnel were ahead of the game and that they were in the know-how in terms of catching the criminals, crippling the networks.
Commissioner Martin is confident that as a united force with a comprehensive strategy, the RSS can combat threat networks.
We require action, and certainly part of that has to do with a comprehensive regional strategy that will take all stakeholders on board to ensure that we have success and can guarantee the safety and security of our region.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
It is here again, it is here again. The Made in Grenada Expo is here again. And I just hope the whole of Grenada ready because I sung in a clarion call. The Made in Grenada Expo is here again. The Made in Grenada Expo is on February 7th and the public is encouraged to come out and give full support and buy out all local products on show. Products manufactured right here in Grenada. 100% Grenadian. And it's happening right here at the National Stadium. Are taking in the Independence Parade and the Made in Grenada Expo one time. I am so excited. That's why I'm making a fireside. I bring my tent, my blanket and all kind of thing. And I'm camping right here until everything done on February 7th. The Made in Grenada Expo is here again.
Welcome back. Grenada is hours away from effecting the importation ban on single-use plastics. The ban on styrofoam and single-use plastic bags became effective September 1st, 2018, with an importation ban set for February 1st, 2019. Alternative biodegradable supplies are being shipped into the island to ensure that the transition from plastics and styrofoam is a smooth one. However, concerns still surround the issue of waste reduction in the current overcrowded landfill at Perseverance. The Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority's Senior Communications Officer, Myrna Julian, says 16.4% of waste at the landfill is plastic. She is pleased with the move to ban the importation of plastics.
When we look at the quantities of waste going in there, and in particular these non-biodegradable products, the plastics and styrofoam and so on, any initiative that is designed to cut down on those quantities would certainly be welcome. And so with the implementation of the ban on the imports on styrofoam, which was effected in September last year, we would see a reduction in the generation of styrofoam waste, and we have been seeing that so far in terms of styrofoam used in the food service sector. And of course with plastics, the import ban on the plastic handlebags coming into effect from tomorrow, the 1st of February, is certainly a welcome decision.
Waste reduction is priority for the authority as it forges ahead with the implementation of the Sustainable Waste Reduction Integrated Waste Management Plan.
We into the implementation of a Sustainable Waste Management Plan for Grenada, Integrated Solid Waste Management Plan, and one of the components is landfill development. And if you have to think about preserving the space that we have there and looking for new space for waste disposal, we must think in terms of waste reduction. And so certainly this is a welcome initiative, a welcome bit of legislation which would eventually see hopefully the phasing out of all plastics, single-use plastic products. It's just starting off with the handlebags and the styrofoam and food service, and we're hoping that somewhere along the line the other components will come into effect and assist us in terms of waste reduction.
The alternative products are FDA approved with a short compost life cycle. Julian hopes Grenadians will take the opportunity to get involved in composting as a business venture.
We are happy that there is a changeover, but what we are concerned with is that even though there is a changeover, that these products should not also end up on the landfill, but that out of such a changeover would come opportunities for persons to get engaged in things like composting, because these are compostable products. For example, the glasses that appear to be plastic but are made out of corn oil that you would observe the green ring around, which is an indication that it is biodegradable. These would break down only under composting temperatures, right, those hot temperatures. So we are hoping that even though they are saying that they are biodegradable products, totally made out of organic material, that these don't end up on the landfill also, because it would pose a challenge for us in terms of the waste quantities going there.
With that story, we end the national report for Thursday, 31st January 2019. Recapping the headline: Prime Minister pleased that RGPF's crime-fighting rate is attracting Caribbean attention. On behalf of all who made this newscast possible, management and staff of the Government Information Service, thanks for joining us. I'm Delroy Louzan.
or casual engagements. Showcase the true Grenadian spirit. Every ministry, every department, and all workplaces are encouraged to join in. National Colors Day, Wednesday, February 6, 2019. Endorsed by the National Celebrations Committee. Our people, our colors, our day. On Wednesday, February 6th, National Colors Day.
I am Grenadian, I am Grenadian, I am Grenadian, I am Grenadian. Just tell them we proud of we country, tell them.
And good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. 36 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock on the beautiful Spice Isle of Grenada. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And we're live on 97.5 City Sound FM, broadcasting from River Road in St. George.
89.5 CRFM out there in the beautiful Manjaloo. Huh.
Yeah. And 92.9 out there in Carriacou, Sister Isle FM. Good morning to you, Lisa Marie.
And the beautiful Paradise Beach.
Yeah, the entire staff out there at Sister Isles. Good morning to you.
And 94.9 WeiVybz Radio in Brooklyn. It's a pity you guys in Brooklyn can get some of that hot sun and that beautiful sunshine. Oh my God.
Yes, indeed. Ooh. And it is a Friday, and you have to do the week in review. It's Friday. Yeah. We're going to look at the weekend. So, and again, we had Dr. Fleming in yesterday. Yeah, that was a wonderful interview. Yeah, I'd like to say again, Doc, we know that you're listening wherever you are. Thank you. And Doc climbing on the motorbike.
Yeah, Doc come with a Harley.
Yeah, again, whatever opportunity you get to drive it, to ride it. Not drive it, ride it.
Yeah,
right?
but Doc, your belly, to get broken feet, not one, feet in 3 years twice. Come on, Doc, your belly. Car, Doc.
Nah, man. Yeah, you're getting damage in car too, you know. Same as again. In fact, more people does get damage in vehicle and does get damage in them thing, yeah?
Yeah, Doc have a passion for his bike.
Yeah, man. And it's a nice thing, especially when you have this type of weather. Yeah. For the nice sunshine and you're there with the breeze in your face and so. And, you know, the nice look of you and thing,
Yeah. You know?
Just wear your protective gear.
That's
and
all.
you're good to go.
That's all. Protective gear with a short pants. And thing, and you ride down to the beach.
Yeah, you could handle your vibes and things. So it's a nice,
it's
a nice opportunity, folks. Those of you that are looking online, remember to like and share the video. Yeah, like and share the video, so that others can see what's going on, can hear us in studio, can see us in studio. Remember, you can check us out on Hard Talk Grenada Live, and you can also check us out on YouTube. Yeah, Hard Talk Grenada on YouTube. So we're saying a special good morning to each of you. Elsa Lesan. I know some of my friends will not be coming online this morning because they are...
I think it's part of that one.
Yeah, I know some people vex with WeiVybz.
Muscles.
Muscles and WeiVybz, man. Two partners.
You go...
Zingo.
You go fight your battle for yourself.
Zingo is a good partner. Come on, man. These guys, I love these guys. These guys are like my brothers, man. You know, swear we come from the same parents. Like
after yesterday and last night, you're on your own, bro.
No. I never could be on my own. Tell you that's my brethren. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah, some of them don't even want to hear you right now.
Nah, man, they love me.
Because
they love me.
You did a number on them.
Mr. Watts, good morning, sir. I just forget to kind of tag you yesterday and thing, but you understand how we go. All right, Mr. Watts? I know WeiVybz only singing a song every time a piece of coal take him. You understand? Alright, Mr. Watts. I know WeiVybz.
Everybody come, let we
go back home.
Let we go back home.
Oh my God.
WeiVybz, I know you're singing that one through right now. Every time a piece of coal weather bite you.
Festival, Bacchanal, that don't missing me at all.
Go and relax in the Sulphur Spring. Have a nice massage, some relaxation.
I wish it
could pass and check the guys up there in Rose Hill. Tell them I said hi. I know they're cooking a pot at the side of the road right now. You pass through there, you head down to Lavera Beach.
Exactly. Battery Beach, man.
You waited. I think this is the time the turtles usually come up and so even if it's nighttime and so under
turtle watching
beautiful Grenadian skies, go and watch some turtles and so. Do not try to ride the turtle. They ain't horse. Don't go and try and ride the turtle. Don't interfere with the eggs and don't interfere with the turtle.
And don't take photos of them with flash.
Yeah, no flash photography, man. You may be lucky enough to see one in the daytime. You could get a photo. But the nighttime, please don't use the flash photography. It interferes with the turtles.
Here we go back home. The place to be.
When you finish up there in Bathway Beach taking a nice soak in the azure blue waters, you can head on down the east coast to the town of Grenville.
Luscious vegetation.
Make a little lime in Grenville town, yeah? Hey, Anthony with Anthony's Store. Good morning to you, bro. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. It's been a while since I've seen Anthony. I haven't been to Grenville for a while.
You haven't been to Grenville for a while.
Yeah. So you make a little walk around Grenville, man.
Passing by Dali.
Yeah, you can pass by Dali and get Independence.
Get some of the colors. Yeah.
Passing by Lacroix and see if you see anybody you know. Yeah.
Depot.
That used to be a thing, you know. People used to pass in Lacroix and see if they see somebody they know.
Yeah, man. Right there, you know, there on Melville Street.
Sometimes you didn't know a person. You pass. He
dead?
What's going on here? I didn't know that.
Depot, we understand, but you know, can't help it.
So folks, make a little pass down that side. You can go on up to the Granitang Lake. Ooh. It's a bit cool up there, not chilly, but cool up there.
We go eat some food.
Relax at the edge of the Granitang Lake.
And
natural lake.
And not just that, the monkeys are out. And so
the Mona monkeys. If you're going further through the Granitang, you head to the Seven Sisters. Take a nice cool bath at the Seven Sisters waterfall. You can also visit Papi's Eatery on the way to there. Papi's Restaurant. Get some nice local callaloo soup and so.
Delicious.
Just beautiful. I think we have a caller online. Hello. 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 Hi. Hello. You need to kill the volume in the background. Hi. You're live.
You're radio in the background.
Kill the volume in the background. Yes, you're live. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, you're live, brother.
How are you?
Good morning.
AC.
Hey.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry about that, AC. How are you doing, bro?
Well, yesterday morning I was going to call in, but I saw Devon had a fella in studio. Yes. And he wasn't talking what I wanted to talk.
Well, let me talk where you want to talk.
What you want to talk to this morning?
Yeah, and I'm glad I get in early because I think it's time we start steering this conversation and putting people on the spot to answer questions. Now, let me say this. From what I've learned in civics class, I don't know whoever been to civics class, the government of Grenada is threefold, meaning you have the judiciary, you have the legislative, and you have the, the executive. Mm-hmm. The government of the day is the executive, meaning they are given the responsibility by the people of the country to run the country.
Mm-hmm.
And if the law says that the government has the prerogative of moving its public officers whenever they feel it is necessary, I would like the leader of the Public Workers Union to tell the Grenadian people how she was victimized by being moved by the executive, a legal move. She was not demoted. She's not getting less money, and she did not move to a lower position. She was just moved from a department that one time she used to be DPMS or DHR, what have you, and then she was moved to the Ministry of Education. Now, I'm saying all that to say, first of all, she's taking the Grenadian people for fools. and stand up on TV talking about, oh, well, it was a victimization. What victimization? What you need to tell the working people of Grenada, the workers who are in your union, is what you're doing with their monies that they can have a strike fund. And every time you come on and you attack the government, as if the government has to defend its actions, you're really getting away from you're trying to run away from what you're supposed to be saying. So like, what's her name, Rachel?
Yes.
Yeah. To tell the workers of her union what is going on with the monies for the strike fund that they're supposed to have. Nobody want to victimize her. I mean, anyway, what good to say, good to keep. But I think it's time we take it out. You know, the government has a responsibility. And you see, what people don't understand is, when the government makes a move, it's a legal move. They're well within their right to do it. And union leaders of the past would tell these three blind mice that when you strike, you're supposed to have funds to cover the strike. And I want her to stop this nonsense. If you want to be a politician, Rachel, then maybe you should apply for membership into a particular political party. And otherwise, tell the workers what you're doing with their money, 800,000 every month, that you cannot have a strike fund.
800,000 every year.
Well, okay, every year. But it still adds up, though.
It does.
Right? And when unions are planning strike actions, one of the first things they check on is where they're going to get money to cover workers not being at work.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So I wish we would concentrate on asking her and the other two to please tell, well, I from my recollection of the town, they were supposed to know that and have that in place. At least they used to when Chester Humphrey was the President General. All right? So.
Well, my brother, you know, outside of that, there's some interesting developments this morning. Just a few moments ago, a meeting would have been concluded with the Labour Commissioner and the Pension Engagement Committee of the government. As you know, the matter was sent for arbitration to the Commissioner. The Commissioner then sent a letter for conciliation to the government side and to the public sector unions, who refused to show up today. They waited a full hour from sources. They waited a full hour for the public sector unions to show up to the meeting today for arbitration, and they refused.
Yeah.
They decided they would not show up today. They said they consider this to now be a legal matter, and they refused to show up this morning to engage with the Pension Engagement Committee.
Well, I hope they understand that they should have showed up because they're going to lose that case. The legal grounds on which they're battling, they're going to lose it.
Well, if they think that they're going to win, they're all welcome to go to court on the matter. They're all welcome. For the union leader, though, for Miss Rachel Roberts, as I call her comrade sister Rachel Roberts, to continue to make a statement like she doesn't know that they have any agreement on the pension. Since February of last year, you sign a memorandum of understanding with the government where you agree that 70% is the pension that people, and we're talking about the elder lady who in she 70s right now, or in her 60s, who is living in St. John, who cannot afford the medication for diabetes. We're talking about the grandmother or the grandfather who is sitting in St. David right now and wondering if Grenlec coming to cut off the electricity, and they've worked for so much years with the government of Grenada. And these people, government is saying, let's move ahead and give these people the 70% pension. She's saying she don't know nothing about that. How heartless and careless can you be?
Yeah, because you see, they're playing politics. And, you know, none of these fools would win a seat in an election, but they're jumping on, they're playing politics. Political puppets. That's what they are. You know, and while the business of the nation and the nation's children is left to suffer at the hands of these, like I call them, the three blind mice.
Oh my goodness. It's totally disgusting. How can, and first of all, as you said, she says she's victimized. Alan, I know you worked within the public service. I worked within the public service. Devon, you worked within the public service. It is a fact that once you carry a public service commission appointment, you can be changed from any location to a next location at any point in time. I have seen, and I don't know if you all have seen it, I've seen working in the Ministry of Youth before, and I'm not speaking as Senator Scott, I'm speaking about as Sheldon, Public Relation Officer. I know that I've entered the office before and met the secretary packing up, and asked her, hey, this early morning where you going? Said, well, she received notice that morning that she had to move from there to report over to the Ministry of Finance the same morning.
Yep.
So once,
and that's how it's done.
Once you're within the service, you can be shifted. But some people now, for whatever reason, I don't know if it has some kind of juice flowing there. I don't know if it's some kind of special something that inside a position. They refuse to move from one place to the other. They refuse, although you can't really refuse. Government send you. And that's the other mistake. In Rachel Roberts' instance, it's not government as in NNP or cabinet that move her. She is under the control of the Public Service Commission. They may say there's another position that they need her skill set for, and therefore they are moving her from the Ministry of Education to wherever they decide that her skill set is better utilized. And there's nothing that, well, if she wants, she could leave the job. But the Public Service Commission has that responsibility and that right.
But even Ms. Roberts should know. I think she's been very dishonest when she made that statement about being victimized, because when she entered government service, she was not working in the Ministry of Education or even the present job. She was either in customs or in Port Authority at the first time, and she was moved around. How come now she's just talking about victimization? I mean,
but
it's
even that, you have to understand, she's not losing salary.
At all.
She's not in a less position. So where is the victimization? And why, you see, that's why I say, we have to call them out on their nonsense. Because we have a situation here where workers are talking about government doctor salary for not attending work. You have a union that's collecting workers' dues. So what are the dues for? And they're not paid. They don't have a strike fund. And then instead of addressing that, you come in and talk about government victimize you because you want to take the issue, the light from you, and keep it on the government. They say when you don't have good foot, you have to take it front, and the best defense is a strong offense. So when you tell people government victimizing you, people will jump up, oh yes, Keith Mitchell, and you see other victimization. That's not victimization. They could send you in Carriacou in the morning.
Alan,
I want to let you know that.
Alan, we can talk, if they want to talk about victimization, we could talk about victimization, you know. I know you could talk about victimization because I know what happened to you when the NDC administration came in. I know what happened to me when the NDC administration came in. Right across from me is sitting Nazim Benjamin. And I know what happened to him and Nicholas Nichols and Cheryl Williams and many others. Even Royal Titus. Many other people were victimized. Look, Devon is sitting right here. He was a card-carrying member of the party. And because they didn't like the side that they say he's supporting within the party, they decided they didn't pay. How much months you don't get paid for?
4 months straight.
And who was in charge of the payments at that time, the Treasury?
Nazim Buck.
You understand? They even victimized until they victimized their own. So if you want to speak about victimization, I didn't hear Rachel Mouth back in those days talking about anybody being victimized. When people like myself were being shifted and moved around, I didn't talk about victimization or say anything because I'm within the service. So when the time came for me to leave, I leave, but other people had their contracts terminated under the NDC. I didn't see Rachel coming out and say anything about that at that point in time. I didn't see her come out to defend anybody back in 2008, 2009, when people who were considered to be supporters of the New National Party were being victimized. Rachel Mouth was on mute. But now it's something fall in sheep pot where the Public Service Commission move her. all of a sudden it's victimization?
Yeah, and that's why we have to pull them up and let them know that we're not going to let them slip through with their nonsense. The nation's business has to go ahead, and workers are to be led properly by the union. The union has to show proper leadership in making sure that the rights of the workers are fought for in an honest way, and she can't continue with this dishonest mode of operations. You know. Anyway, I am being victimized by the cold weather here. I've got to leave you guys out to take care of things. You have a good day.
All right, brother.
All right, bro. Yeah, that is victimization, Alan. The weather. That is what have you busy.
No, but we did tell you all because that information came out about October last year that this would be one of the worst winters in a long time that our friends up there in the U.S. would be going through. And we just advise you all. I don't know much about the winter. All I could say is try and keep warm.
Yeah.
Try and keep as warm as possible.
And the best advice?
And help each other.
Best advice I can give? Let we go back home.
Yeah, let it try that. But yeah, this situation, I saw something with Rachel Roberts, and she was talking about she know nothing about the 70%.
Yeah.
That is heartless, cruel. That is heartless, and that is cruel.
And dishonest. Worthless too, I'll call it. Dishonest.
She knows that a memorandum of understanding was signed. She knows that there is an agreement between the government side and the public sector unions, including her union, the Public Workers Union, that there would be a 70% pension paid to people that have left the public service who do not qualify under the 1958 law, that these people would now receive a 70% pension. That is agreed between the Public Workers Union. Now, the bone of contention is the volume of gratuity or the upfront payment. And they don't even realize that if you take the upfront payment, for instance, okay, if you have to take the upfront payment now, when you take the upfront payment now on whatever percentage of the money that you would get over a 10-year or 5-year period or whatever, when during that 5-year or 10-year period there's a negotiation and the monthly pension goes up, you would have lost, you know. Because what you're getting, you remember, you already get it at the old level. You already get it at the old percentage. So if it was $100 a month and you get, let's say, $10,000 or whatever, then when a new thing is done, when a new negotiation takes place, when the salary increases that take place on a yearly basis take place, you are actually losing by taking your gratuity. Yeah? You're losing. If you take your pension on the monthly basis, you would benefit. But if you take the gratuity upfront, you're losing. Because remember, the monthly payments will increase, which means that you're taking it at a lower level. You might be taking it at $100, but in 10 years' time, it might be $200. So you have lost when you take your gratuity upfront, but they ain't explaining that to the workers.
No, they wouldn't.
Because they want to make politics out of this thing.
Political games.
I said, we know that there are meetings taking place in a specific location of specific individuals, including former leaders, blah, blah, blah. We know that that meeting is taking place on a regular basis. We know that there are plans and strategies, and they have already done it in some instances, to infiltrate the trade union movement and to ensure that they create a situation where Grenada is ungovernable and that the public sector is unable or incapable of providing the services that it has to provide to the Grenadian people, so that you would leave St. Patrick and come down to get something done at the ministerial complex and nobody would be there to do it.
Nope.
So that you have lost income by doing that. Or that you would take the day off from work to get some stuff done. And sometimes, we know how things work here, sometimes it means you have to go to the registry and then you have to come across to the ministerial complex and then you have to go across to the Ministry of Finance. So you might take a day and say, I'm taking the day off to do this, and you lose your income for that day. And then you lose that income, but you still don't get what you have to get done because some people decide to call a wildcat strike at that point in time. Let's strike today. So people just decide to stay home. And then you, the taxpayer, the person who, it's not the government paying these people, and it's you. That's what you just get it wrong. It's you, the taxpayer, everybody who listening to this program right now here in Grenada.
You know.
And even some of you outside of Grenada, you're the ones that paying.
You know, Sheldon, I always try to question and find out something. Now, the unions are talking and making big thing, work to rule and thing about government took away money. Well, not took away. Government did not pay them for being absent. Now, you are saying it is your right to withhold labor. Okay? Now, what is the right of the employer, which happens to be government in this case? What are the options government have when you decide to withhold your labor arbitrary? I mean, come on. Think about it.
My brother, that's not an issue, you know, because the unions have admitted that government has the right to do that. The union has already admitted that. If you listen carefully to the statements of people like Comrade Brian Grimes, Comrade Sister Rachel Roberts, Comrade Lloyd and Lewis, Comrade, who else again? Andre Lewis. If you listen to them carefully, none of them, not one, has said in any way that government is wrong
to do that,
for doing it. What they have questioned is the procedure for doing it. In fact, that is what they're going to court on. They are not going to court on the issue that government made deductions. They are going to court on the procedure that was followed. So they're saying, yes, government could do that. They're saying we could call out people to strike. People strike, and if they strike, then they can't be paid. That's what they're admitting that. But by admitting that, they're also admitting that they knowing that, because they're going to court not to argue the fact that government should not have withdrawn salaries for those periods.
How
it was done, knowing that they should have made provisions for the payments to these individuals during that period of time. No matter where you are in the world, when you go on strike, there's a strike front from the union that you are attached to. That is the reason you pay union dues.
Why are they running away from that issue?
You don't pay union dues for a person to watch you and tell you, okay, we go in and jump up in the road Mayday and put up some placard and cuss the Prime Minister. That's not what you pay union dues for. Because still, even then, they have to come back and buy a T-shirt and all kind of thing, $25, $30 for a T-shirt. And sometimes they have to pay for a drink and all kind of thing when you go in some of the unions. You have to pay for drinks and so. That is not what you're paying for. You are paying into that, and those who have left the service have paid into that. And I wonder, to be honest, I wonder if the unions does give anything to people when they go out on pension, considering that they have been contributing to the union for a period of time. I wonder if the union gives them a handshake and says, well, okay, you're retiring, hold a little something.
Out of your money you've been paying.
Because the union holding money for the people,
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if the union does say hold a little something.
Yeah, I wonder if you're getting back a little something as
somebody, anybody that knows, let us know if the union does give back a little something.
Yeah, a little percentage out of your 20 years of service.
4407377. That's 4407377.
And 347-329-3101.
I want to know. Let me know if you could call on other things, but let's know too if the union does give back a little something to people when they retire. Imagine you've been paying union dues for 25 years or 30 years and you retire. Does the union give you back something as well?
Yeah,
because the government of Grenada, remember, they have been paying you, but you have been paying the union. So at the end of the time, does the union come back and give you a little handshake and say, hold a 50? You could bag gas for that?
I'm wondering. Because even that money paying into that particular fund.
You pay into the NIS, and at the end of the time, the NIS, there's another payment comes out of your salary. The NIS gives you something when you become pensionable. Or if you have different issues coming up, they assist you. But does the union do the same thing? $800,000 a year, so you really want to know what's going on with that money? Devon, the overseas number for that?
347-329-3101. Give us a call. Let's hear your views. All right? I mean, it's open, right, for us to discuss and so, because it's an issue that we are grappling with right now. And the Grenadian people need to understand and to know some of the things that is going on. The unfairness of some of the union leaders, right, in directing their union members to do certain things that they know is not correct, is not right. But they basically want to feel that we stand in our grounds and we this and that. No, you don't stand your ground on things that are wrong. You stand for what is right. And so when you make mistakes, when you make errors, and so, to move forward, you need to correct these errors. You need to admit that, look, we made mistakes. But in moving forward, we intend not to continue making these mistakes. And so, but you are not man and woman enough to do that. Instead, you're looking for somebody else to blame, right? And somebody else is suffering. Who is suffering? Our children.
Yes, indeed. 440-7377, that's the number for you to get on the inside. Good morning to you, Miss Cammy. Hope that you're having a wonderful morning this morning. Yeah, just spot her quickly yesterday afternoon. I just had a spotter before I jump up bus yesterday. Yes, so hope that you're having a wonderful morning this morning, my dear, and that everything is going all well and okay with you.
Depot, good morning to you, and thanks for the little information. Keep it coming. West Indies 70 for 1.
Yeah.
Remember that they bowled out England for meager.
I was kind of up and down yesterday, so I didn't even follow cricket.
I know.
And at one point in time, England was 90-something for 6 or 7.
Yeah. I think they made 180-something or something like that. Yeah, they really can stand up to Gabriel and these guys.
You know, it's interesting, huh? Devon, even with putting cricket aside, though, it's interesting. I am very interested in seeing May Day this year.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in seeing May Day.
Very, very interesting.
Because, as I said, the Public Workers Union, Grenada Union of Teachers, they get over $800,000 from contributions of workers. That's the workers, the people that they represent, pay that into their unions every year. And the unions have found it necessary. They find money to deal with an issue that they knew about previously. They knew that government had the right to do what government did. Yeah? They threatened government not to do it. But they knew that the government had the right to do it. At the end of the day, while, for instance, the Grenada Union of Teachers president, he good. He don't have to worry about it. He had no deduction to worry about. He get all the money. He spending Christmas nice.
Yeah.
What about the young teachers and so on? I mean, I felt it for them, eh? Seriously, I feel it for them. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
Morning, Sheldon. How are you doing, man?
Great, man.
Good.
Okay, Devon and Sheldon, all you have tank full with water.
Well, you know the dry season coming up, eh?
Not
dry
tank.
season start, eh?
All right.
Yes.
I'm just talking in, man. I'm just giving all you a little update, just a little heads up.
Oh, wait now. Just realize who's talking there, you know. Partners. Watch. If I get any bus pipe, I will let you know early.
I just give you a heads up, all right?
Yes, man.
All right.
Thankful, all right?
All right, brother. Much appreciated. Yeah.
Folks, and that's a very important call. And it's a very important call because water levels continue to drop around the island.
Yeah.
And we may find ourselves already into valve regulation. In some areas, there is already valve regulation.
There is.
And as we know, and this is the thing about Grenadians. We like to bathe. You never hear a Grenadian go on the internet or call radio or call Shaggy in the morning or call Aruna or somebody on whatever station or call GT or call Campesh and say, I want some water to drink. I can't get no water to drink. They ain't call that, you know. A Grenadian call, I can't bathe. I want to go to work and I can't bathe.
Even if
some of them,
even if some of them,
extremely, no, but we're extremely clean people.
Oh,
you know?
very much so.
Grenadians are extremely clean people. We just bathe. We like to bathe. We like to know that we take some water and we bathe. And don't give us no cup of water and tell us bathing. That we want to bathe and bathe properly. So, folks, you have to make sure that you store water in some clean containers. Make sure it's clean containers and so on. Go through the proper procedure. Clean, covered containers. I tell you, I have some stories of something that people do to other people, water and that kind of thing. So don't play with that. Keep your water in a safe location, covered. Right? The water levels at the various dams have been going down. And as you all can tell, we had no significant amounts of rain. Even if we have some rain, it doesn't last for long, no rainy day to say then we get a set of water coming up and so. So we have to ensure that we conserve what water we have. Yeah, it's going to mean that at a point in time you expect most likely they're going to stop people from washing down vehicle.
Oh yeah, and wetting and wetting the flower garden. I'm guilty of my garden, but hey, I gotta.
But my problem with that is that I'm wondering what sort of consolation could be made for the guys that run the little. That's how they make their money. The fellas that there's some guys that do that for a living. They wash down vehicle.
Yeah.
and that kind of thing.
Well, the guys in River Road in particular, they may not have a problem, basically, because they ride by the river. You know, and
what if the river has no water?
No, the river will have water. Our river never ain't have water yet.
Okay.
It will go low, and so, but
some people might know them wash down the vehicle without water.
But that's the best water to wash down, the water without chlorine. You understand? Once you take it up, and so you put it in buckets, leave it settle, just in case you have little stones and so that you will pick up while filling up, and you utilize it. It's the best water.
Depot is saying, please inform all people, don't store drinking water in the blue barrels. It becomes toxic from the base chemicals, and that is true.
And that is true.
The blue shipping barrels, I myself was telling people send that. Yeah, but when you send that, and so if you're using that water, use that water to wash.
Outside, or wash and so.
So washing clothes or bathing or so, and even that might be kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with that.
Not ways. You try not to, but you know, for washing and so, you may not have a choice.
Angelique is saying, I know of people that's retired awaiting the retroactive pension payments and was elated at the Prime Minister's announcement that he'll move forward with pension payments while gratuity gets sorted out. But now she's playing games with these retirees and their pensions. She needs to be fired from the union, the weakest link ever. Bag of emotions. And the thing is this, it's the workers to fire her, you know. Yeah, the workers have to make their decision when the time comes and the union election comes, whether they're going to continue on that ship or whether they're going to jump ship and try our next boat, or whether they're going to throw in a life raft in the water and dive in that. The workers are going to have to make that decision, and it's going to be based on the performance of the union leadership. If the union leadership continues to come to the Grenadian people and to, even worse, the Grenadian worker, and tell them that they have been unable to secure any benefits from 2013 to now, no benefits at all for workers, then that union leadership has failed, and to a man and woman, everybody needs to go. That's my view.
Well, not just fail, they will be lying, they will be telling lies.
But we know that they're lying, because we know that over $100 million in benefits have gone to the workers during that period of time. At a point in time that Barbados had 2 sets of layoffs. Barbados, an economy that is considered to be more complex than ours, that is considered to be better than ours, a society that a lot of people feel better than, we are the best society, we ain't doing that, but they feel better than ours. And Barbados had to send home, retrench 2 sets of workers. While here in Grenada, no workers have been retrenched. Instead, we have people jumping up and complaining now when the Public Service Commission tell them, you're not working here, you're going to be working there. The Public Service Commission didn't tell you you're going home, you know. They didn't tell you your salary dropping because you can move laterally. When we say you can move laterally, you can move from one position to another, but your salary cannot be dropped. The only thing could happen to your salary, it could go up. The only time your salary would go down is if you're demoted due to some sort of action, and the Public Service Commission has decided that they are going to discipline you, and therefore you've been dropped from one rank to another rank. I mean, not talking about the police and them here, but from one position to another position, a lower position, then your salary can go down. Other than that, your salary in the public service only goes up. That's why we have people right now who are working for close to $9,000 in the public service. They're working for more than the minister in the ministry that they're working for. You have people that are working for $8,000 again, working for more than the minister in the ministry. Ministers are making $8,000. They're working for more than the ministers. And they have already sent in for their negotiation now to get their salary up by at least another 10% over the next 3 years. So if they're working for $8,000 now, expect that to be increased by $800 over the next 3 years. They're going to be in the $9,000 range themselves. Those in the $7,000 range are going to be, again, they're going to be in the $8,000 range. That's what and that doesn't apply to ministers, huh? So over the years, every time you hear the public servants get a raise, whether it's 5%, 2%, 3%, 10%, whatever, that does not apply to parliamentarians. I believe it should. I believe when everybody else get a raise, let everybody get a raise. Everybody being paid through the public purse, let it get a raise. So pensioners get, don't even me money. Everybody should get. But it doesn't apply to parliamentarians. It only applies to people who are within certain positions in the public service by the Public Service Commission, Judicial and Legal Services Commission, and the letter from the Commissioner of Police or so on. Those individuals are the ones that benefit from that. The average worker in the complex ain't benefiting, and No. You hear Brian Grimes and Rachel Roberts and them now doing like they just know that the unestablished workers are not being serviced by the union that they are in charge of. The incompetence. You're now doing like you don't know, so you're now talking about the when you get your raise in 2017, they didn't get. When you get your raise in 2018, they didn't get. When you just get your raise in 2019, they did not get. So how come it's now, in 2019, you know that the unestablished workers not benefiting from the negotiations that you as a union carrying out? That's incompetence.
You see, because they realize that certain things they do, they need all their workers to do it, but and they can't. But what is amazing to Sheldon is that Rachel Roberts and them, they are questioning basically the authority of the Public Service Commission, or even the ministry in which they working with, their boss, telling them or directing or telling people that, look, I am being discriminated because I was moved from one position to a next. Not being demoted, you know, but moved from one position, right, to a next. You should glad to get to gain the experience of other ministries or of other places that you go to enhance your own, your ability. You should be glad of that.
Ministers who are ministers are transferred from ministry to ministry from time to time. Ministers who are ministers are transferred from ministry to ministry from time to time. According to Tillman Thomas, it's a normal process that people are transferred from one position to another. And Tillman Thomas said that.
He said that.
At a point in time, but see, the difference was he was doing his transfers out of spite.
Out of spite.
And so he trying to manipulate the situation, and he was doing transfers out of spite. When Dr. Mitchell does his transfers, because I went through transfers, and when he does the transfers to give you an opportunity to assist in an area where you have competency, and also to give you experience in another area. Yeah, so when a minister is shifted from one position, if you're a minister or you're a public servant, you shouldn't want to be in the same position for a whole 5 years, a whole 10 years, a whole 15 years. You should want to shift from one position to another to get other experience.
But some of them don't have no ambition to, eh?
But as a public servant, what you realize over the years, Devon, what you realize happens over the time is that some people fall into this belief system of they own that department, or they own that ministry, or they own that office or so, and don't realize that office ain't belong to you. That belongs to the people of Grenada. And from time to time, the people of Grenada, through the Public Service Commission, may decide that what, you are better suited in another office. You are better suited somewhere else. Let's give you some more experience. But it's something sweet in some positions for some people.
Some of them.
So when time to move them, they vex.
You know, some of them stay in one position for so long, they begin to get bed sore. You understand? They begin to get bed sore, and they like the bed sore, and instead of curing it, and so by exposing the wound and move to another place, or change your habits, you want to stay there and continue getting bed sore. I wonder why you will endure such painful experience, and so just to remain in a particular position. I'm wondering. You understand? But hey, it's a wake-up call for workers to again start understanding their role as workers, right? Their rights, right? They need to question certain things of the leadership, the union leaderships. They need to, right? You cannot just be following for following's sake. No, you have at one point in time, you need to question and get clarity of a number of things that your unions and the leadership of your unions are involved in. And I bet you, as soon as you start questioning all these things, you will see a change. You will see certain people start doing things differently because they are being exposed. Right? And that is what you need to do. Because in my view, that whole question of where we are now with the teachers and the work to rule and so, it is a fault, in my view, of the leadership of the union. Right? By basically I mean, letting your workers do something that you know would put them in trouble, and it's not right, it's not correct, it's not the normal, you know.
Before this action was taken, and I think, let's be fair here, before the action was taken, the workers were warned on 3 separate occasions. Instead of listening to what the Honorable Emlyn Pear had to say, some people was too busy calling out all kind of nasty names. And or the bravado. Let it do it now. They so and so. And they this and they that. They were so busy cussing. They were so busy making all sorts of nasty placards saying all sorts of things that you wouldn't expect to be coming out from a teacher. Because if that's the teacher, I want to see the students that particular teacher, where I see one card holding up, is teaching. The kind of words that they were using and those sort of things. Yeah? People understand. You're upset about the issue, but you still have a responsibility as an individual. And instead of listening to what the Honorable Emlyn Pear said on the 3 occasions, these individuals spent the time cussing and carrying on and not listening, because they were cussing and they're carrying on and they're calling all sorts of names. They did not spend the time to listen what she was saying. So to some individuals, it came as a shock when they realized that the action was taken. But if they had listened, they would have realized that the action would have been taken. Yeah, they would have understood that the action would be taken. But they weren't listening. They're too busy cussing.
You know, I'm wondering, Sheldon, of their teachers, committed teachers, right?
Vast majority.
Who have spent their life ensuring that students are being educated, I mean, wrong. They're being wronged. No, I'm trying to figure out, when teachers keep on blaming, at this point in time, blaming government for not having extracurricular activities, not having, for example, the independence festival and so for the children in the school, and so they may have a party or something when it comes to independence. Right now, the children, they don't have that because the teachers are saying that government don't give them the permission to do that. I mean, come on. I mean, why stoop so low? I mean, some of you or most of you teachers who are involved in the work to rule, and so you have to understand that there are things that is part of of the curriculum, that is part of you as a teacher, right? When you sign up to teach, not just to be in the classroom to teach ABC or 1, 2, 3 or whatever. It's a rounded something, right? So when you decide to deny our children the ability to get involved in sporting activities, extracurricular activities, because of some poor excuse you're using, I think that's unfair. And I'm wondering if some of you not taking into consideration that you have children too, not just some about like myself and Sheldon, who have children and are not teachers. There are some of you teachers who have children too and are being affected. I mean, come on.
But even worse again, to give the impression that government shouldn't move forward with the 70% pension payments, I think is unfortunate. It's vindictive.
Yes.
It's wicked.
It's worthless.
It's unjust.
Yes.
That word you see, I want to just use it as you want.
Yeah, it's worthless.
Out of everything, it's worthless.
It's worthless, man.
Yeah. Because how could you look at a woman that worked under the public service, worked 20-something years, and should be getting a 70% pension now, and say because you're fighting on a gratuity issue, and you're going to take that issue to court, the issue going to court ought not and should not be the pension. Government concedes on that, 70%. So why are you going and waste the workers' money? Waste the workers' money. You could have taken that money and give each of them the 1,000 and something that they had to get, that you knew was coming out from their salaries. But you want to turn some of them against the government. So you went through the process right now. And some of them fall for it. Mm-hmm. Some of them fall for it. Others are way too intelligent to fall for such nonsense. But some of them fall for it. They understood what you did to them. Because up to now, every time the discussion opens up in relation to where is the strike fund, you try to shut it down. Mm-hmm. As in, that is not all your business. Yeah. And we go talk about that when is the time. Now is the time. Yeah. The time passed already. People should have got the money last month. Well, month before, because we're into February now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they should have gotten their money. But they did not. And every time the discussion stands up on that issue, all of a sudden there's this wall of silence that pervades the atmosphere, and nothing is being said in relation to it. And the workers, some of them are still behind on their bills.
Lots of them.
And they are behind on their bills not because of any action of the government of Grenada. Let's make that absolutely clear. They're not behind because of any action of the government of Grenada. They're behind because of the action of the leadership of the unions.
And now that we hear,
place the blame where it is.
And now that we hear, very troubling, right, that you've been invited to talk to the Labour Commissioner on the issues and so on, you refuse. You blatantly refuse to come to the negotiation, and that has been the problem from day one. That is why we are here at this position, you know, because from the beginning, when you're supposed to be negotiating, you walked out and made arbitrary decisions that affect the workers and on a whole affect the school children. Look at what you have done. Instead of you staying and negotiate in good faith, and even teaching our children the way to go, instead of confrontation, you try to negotiate. But instead of doing that, you walked out on the first opportunity you got in negotiating with the gratuity, not pension, no, but the issue of gratuity. You walked out and you create a chaotic situation for your members. Is that fair? I mean, you leaders need to get a grip. You have been elected there to seek the well-being of your workers, not to lead them down a road that they can't come back and they have to regret. Right? I mean, and that's a lesson for organizations too. When you're electing leaders, you must ensure that the leaders understand their role and what they need, what they have to do, right, in representing you as workers, not what they think. What is what you want, what is the best for you as a worker and not for them as leaders. You need to make these things clear because you will be continuously being led down a road that eventually you will not return.
440-7377, conserve water.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. Lots of water conserved.
Folks, get your water storage. Whether you go and you check Huggins, whether you check Hubbard's, whether you check, you know, I nearly said W. Julian.
No, yeah, well.
W. Julian don't exist again, brother.
Well,
I nearly said W. Julian.
Yes, they broke up. The only part of W. Julian
check
that
Mahon.
Exists.
You can check Mahon.
Yeah,
you can check Mahon hardware up there in
company.
Hope. You could check Mahon up in place there. I know he has. Yes. You could check on the spot. On the spot has.
Yeah.
Who else has water tanks now?
I think Huggins and Hubbard's.
Oh, Ramdani.
Ramdani has.
Ramdani.
Basically all this
El Ramdani. Yeah. Check Ramdani has some nice ones, I believe.
Basically
too.
all the lumber the lumber places around Grenada. Well, and there are even some private, There are even some private persons who brings in tanks. Folks, and so and
all you go say we say, get your water tank now. Alright. Get your water tank, and whether you want to hook it up to capture rainwater. Well, ain't no much rainwater you will capture now.
You can't capture rainwater now. But it's wise to even set it up. So when that time comes, rain, you will have that extra, amount of gallons of water. Because you know how we use water. We love to bathe.
Yeah,
understand? We love to cook. We love to cook. And we love to keep our clothes clean. We love to smell good. Yeah, so water is essential.
Collect your water and keep your surroundings clean. Remember, dengue is within the region. You also have H1N1 in the region. Not saying that it's in Grenada, but you know when it's in the region, what does happen? Does end up here. Still have chikungunya and Zika around. So keep your surroundings clean. Lessen the mosquito population. Make sure that you get rid of all water holding containers around from your community. Just keep the place clean. Once you keep the place clean, you wouldn't have the problem with the mosquitoes. Yeah? You would not have that problem if you keep your surroundings clean. So make sure you do that. Right? Nice. And we say a special good morning to all visitors to the Isle of Spice, where everything is nice. We hope that you're having a wonderful day today. I'm not too sure. I was on the way in and I wasn't paying attention to if there's a cruise ship in today or not. I wasn't paying attention, so I can't say that there is.
Yeah, but, I'm not too sure if I think there is one, because I've been seeing on my way down here, I've been seeing a couple of buses and so passing with Sheldon, there is something that I need to reiterate again, right, to our citizens, right, of a particular thing. Now, I again refer to the whole question in the whole situation that occurred in the 90s in Rwanda, right? When there were persons on the radio station going out and calling out people, inciting violence, inciting disturbances, right? Continue to tell people to sabotage this and to shut down this and to do this. There is a situation here in our country, right, with persons on the air continuing to incite violence and to encourage persons in this country to do wrong things, right, to hate. We need to stop that, and we need to call them out who is doing it. And they know who they are, right?
You know, the people who are guilty of something is always the people that accuse other people of it.
Of course.
Because they accuse this program of preaching hate. We don't preach hate here. We will tell you who hate who.
And we tell you as it is.
We say it as it is, straightforward. We aren't sugar-coated. That's why it's called hard talk. We ain't sugar-coated nothing here. So don't expect to get no frosting on top. You're getting it direct,
and
full blast.
And factually too.
Right? That's what we do. So we ain't inviting, hate this one, or don't like that one, or cuss this one, and that kind of thing. We talk about the union leadership. We tell the union, say it as it is. They are a failure. If they claim that the government has done nothing between 2013 and now, they are a failure.
The leadership,
because we know that they get increments, they get increases, they get scholarships, including one of the union leaders get scholarship too. No, they didn't even qualify for it. But anyway, yeah, they get scholarships, they get various things. Did I? Me? I didn't see that. Anyhow, yeah, they get, so various things have been given to the union leadership, and for them to come and give the impression to try and give the impression that the government wicked and so
heartless. How could a government be heartless?
They get one-off payment. Government did not give them a one-off payment. Imagine I paid so much into over the period of time. I didn't get a one-off payment. But the unions, the public workers, and so get a one-off payment. They refuse to take the one-off payment they get, and they start to cause and make confusion and say they want more. When other people didn't get. What about these people and them right now who should be receiving their 70% pension? You're vexed. You don't want them get their 70% pension. These people that have medication to buy, they might have diabetes, they might have glaucoma, they could lose their eyesight. Getting up to the 70% might be the difference between them going blind or them having vision to see their grandchildren and to see their way around. It might mean the difference between them being able to buy a cooking gas, to cook at home, or to have to go and get some wood and cook in the yard. It may mean the difference between them being able to buy groceries or them having to focus on going and dig a 2 yam in the bush later. It may make the difference in that. Or them even being able to do something for one of their grandchildren. But yet still you had the union leader come in and say that they know nothing about that. In other words, trying to tell government, forget about that and forget about that, leave that alone. When the lady that worked for 20-something years, that has retired now, that needs that assistance now. She's given all. She's tired now. And she deserves that 70%. Your union
denying her that.
Agree that the 70%. The government agree on the 70%. But you want to take it to court now to stall these people who should be getting their benefits already from getting it. Well, government, as far as I'm concerned, you're doing the right thing. Dr. Mitchell, you're doing the right thing. Move forward with the 70%.
Pay the pension.
The elderly people need it. Those people that qualify, give them the 70% as soon as possible. We know it wouldn't be this month. It might even be as soon as next month because calculations have to be done. In each case, it's a different calculation. It's not an across-the-board thing, as you say, everybody get a 700. We understand that. So in that case, we know that there would be a rollout period where it would take to get everybody into the system, because what you're doing is according to the percentage the people are receiving from NIS as well. Government has to pay the difference to make it up to 70% of their last salary, right? So those people who are getting the NIS pension and qualify under the new arrangement for a pension, those people will be getting a joint pension between the NIS and Government of Grenada, with Government of Grenada now paying the difference on top of what they get from NIS to bring them up to 70% of their last salary that they receive. to improve their standard of living, so that when we're going through this dry season, these people might be able to buy a water tank to save their life. These people might be able to call a taxi to take them to the hospital when they need to go. But the union leader is saying, no, leave them in that situation still. We ain't know nothing about no 70%. How careless and worthless can you be?
Apparently, that particular union leader, her bread is buttered. She's working. She has a handsome paycheck coming in. She's not retired as yet. So she has no business in caring about the workers and so that has retired and await their pension. She don't care about them. So you could make a careless and reckless and dishonest statement like that. And we got to call you out. Right? Whether it's a slip of the tongue or conscious move that you made, deliberate.
There's a signed memorandum of understanding. Yeah, we
have to call you out.
We understand what a memorandum of understanding is. Right? It's not a signed, a finished agreement. It's that we are looking to move forward. This is the agreement. We agree that this is what the final agreement should say. 70%. We understand that. Yeah? Because when you're saying you don't know, what are you coming back to say now? That you change your mind, you want 100% now instead of 70%?
Apparently, Sheldon, I think that the move that they're about to make is that they know that they cannot go to court on this, the gratuity or the money deducting alone. So they have to.
They're going in different cases, but we have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Yes, gentlemen, good morning. Well,
my brother, hello.
Hello?
You're coming and go. You're coming and go. I don't know if you're using a wireless device. Don't use the wireless device.
I'm using the phone. No wireless device, baby. It's my location though.
Okay, but go ahead. I'm hearing you better now. We're hearing you better now.
What I was calling to clarify. Is it really true that Mr. Rachel Roberts said that they was going to take the government to court for pension and gratuity?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's correct.
Not just so that's what the union leadership across the unions are saying.
Okay. So my question is, if there is no issue with pension has already been settled, what would be the argument in court?
They alone know, Papa.
Them and the lawyers.
Maybe they want less than 70%. Maybe that's what they say.
Well, I'm trying to decide, because I know, as far as I understand, pension is not, settled with. So maybe she misspoke. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt to say, well, maybe she misspoke. Although I have questions about her, because you can't take...
Nah, I ain't getting them no out. They no misspoke on this thing. That's what they mean. I ain't getting them no out on this one. That's what they mean. Because that's not something that's not something to misspeak on, brother. We're talking about people's lives here. We're talking about the lives of people who already contribute. People that sit down right now and they're so glad when they hear the 70%, because it means that they're going to be getting a significant raise in their pension. And now she is saying that they know about that. In other words, government shouldn't do it. That's what she's saying. Hello? Hello? Like we lose him there, man. Yeah.
We lost him.
The signal gain problem. I ain't giving her no out from this. She ain't no misspeak. She ain't no make her mistake. That's what she mean. That is what she means.
That is so, that is so disturbing when you have leaders would come out and make statements like that and put the average, person who are looking out for their 70%, right, or the pension, as soon as possible, and now you want to derail this whole thing and tell people that, that is so dishonest, with Ms. Roberts. I'm wondering if she ever listened to herself.
Move.
Right?
Doc, move forward.
Doc, continue to pay the pension. Go ahead and do what needs to be done.
Forward. Yeah. Ministry of Finance, move forward. Go ahead. Give them people the money.
Yeah.
Don't bother with nobody trying to stop you all.
The pension
I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to file an injunction, because here's what, remember, and I'll say it again, there is a group that is meeting. It's a political group. It's a lot of has-beens, was-beens, and feel they could be. Yeah, has-beens, was-been, and feel they could be. And maybe some wabin too. But yeah, Trinidadians gonna know that term good. You know wabin? You know is a wabin?
Nah.
Okay.
I wonder if the unions are telling.
Hold on. Awabin, there is a plan. There is a plot by these individuals to destabilize Grenada as much as possible. They cannot win through the ballot box. They cannot win through the ballot box. They know that. They know that they do not have the capability, the competency, or the correct candidates to win. Yeah, they know that. They just get shellacking 2 times in a row. So they know they cannot remove the government through that means. They know that any other means, violence or so, is not an option. You hear some people talk that kind of thing, that is just some dunce people. That is fanciful thinking. That is nonsense. In 2019, that ain't happening. Could tell you that straight up. Yeah? So the only means is to destabilize the country as much as possible. Make it ungovernable. You remember that term? Now they come in and say that Doc say he go make the... Some dunce people calling radio and saying that Doc was the one that say he go... When would Doc say that? Why would he say that? When? Play the audio. I can play audio as other people saying it, you know. They're former political leader, but they're trying to spin it now because they're so brainwashed and so full of hate that they're willing to even create things that were not said and say that is he that said. Yeah? But they are the ones that speak before about making the country ungovernable. Yeah? And that is what they are attempting to do right now. Destabilize the public service. That's part of the plan. Destabilize the public service. As much as possible, destabilize the public service. Make sure that Grenadians cannot get the services that they ought to get from the public service in the way that they're supposed to get it. Make it take you 3 months to get a birth certificate. Yeah? If they could damage the system in any way to make sure that it take you 2 years to get a passport, they would do that. Yeah? If they could make it difficult for you to receive the services that you ought to receive from the government, or make projects that the government is doing fail, like the housing project that we know lots of people waiting on. In St. Patrick, houses. In St. Mark, houses. Yeah, in St. David, in Carriacou, houses. For people that waiting right now. They know that that is going to be beneficial to people. So they're hoping that they could make that project stall as well. And any other project, imagine government is speaking of doing the Grenada secondary school games. And you have people out there wishing for the games to fail. Instead of the wish that the games are successful, so that these people can have, the young people can have an opportunity to run in front of a scout, so that they could get a poor person's child who may not, their parents can't afford to send them to university in Mississippi or Oregon or Carolina. Their parents cannot afford it. That a scout might be able to see them in these games and say, wow, I think I want to bring up this one. And give them the opportunity to not just go and run overseas, but to gain a world-class education with a degree that can be recognized any place on the planet. They want to take that opportunity away from these young people? You want the games to fail so that the young people don't have this opportunity? Why? Because they want to play politics with everything. So instead of them saying, this is about Grenada, this is about our youth, let us all come together and try and assist to make sure that the games are successful, they want it to fail. Because that Pol Pot group meeting, and don't feel people know that they're meeting, don't feel people know the machinations, don't feel people know how they're infiltrating the unions and so on, and being the puppet masters and marionettes behind there, guiding the actions of certain people, destroy the tourism industry. Yeah. Let a cruise ship come, send 500 people in town to march through town and cost the government. Make them tourists run back on the boat. Yeah? Block up traffic in town. Vehicles can't move left and right. That is what these people have been conceiving and putting their minds to. Ways of which they're going to stress out people who are perceived to be supporters of the new national party within the public service. Because it happened during the strike, you know. You had people who were considered to be supportive of the new national party. These people went to work and then they see a deduction. Why I think they see a deduction? Because the senior people above them who were submitting the thing decided to go spite them. So they did that, and then afterwards they come and say, you see what your government do you? The wicked. The wicked. You see what your government do you? They deduct your salary and you went to work, you know. They deduct your salary.
I'm wondering, I'm wondering if the membership of the unions consider that to hear their leaders taking a matter to court, I'm wondering if they are concerned about the costs. I'm wondering about the persons that are encouraging the leaders of these unions to take this matter to court, right? To bill the workers thousands of dollars. That same amount of money they could have taken and pay their workers, right? Put in the strike fund. I'm wondering, right, if that bill would not come after the fact.
Well,
I mean,
I know the public workers at the meeting this week. I hope they ask two questions. Number one, how much is it going to cost the union to take the government to court? How much will it cost? And even because the unions were looking for an individual to take the government to court, but the individual is not paying. The funds are going to come from the union. So how much will it cost the union for these various legal cases and so? Yeah, because next thing it end up costing 100,000, making 800,000 a year, and you get 100,000 had to be spent on these cases.
The kind of lawyers that give them advice.
These cases might end up all the way up to the Privy Council. All the way up to the Privy Council, these cases may end up. So we want to know how much it's going to cost.
And the kind of lawyers that are involved.
Yeah. Now, I ain't saying the kind of lawyers that are involved. One of them is my good partner. I know he's a good fella, and I will not say anything bad about him. That is me. I'm not saying anything bad about him. He's my good friend. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
And good morning to your listening audience. Well, there is no question that there is a lot of people that is in this country right now that is bent and sowing the seeds of hate and discontent. But we know they're going to fail. Because let me tell you something. Yesterday morning, on the NDC main mouthpiece program, you know, there was one caller that said something going to run in Grenada. He don't know if it's oil or he don't know if it's blood. But I must say that he was cautioned by the host. But what I want to say here is this. Those who want to see red, I just hope they have the reservoir. Because my point is, people must not advocate biting out more than they could chew. You understand? Because in 79, nobody swim. You know, and we don't want people advocating swimming in the reservoir in the future. Now, listen, on that same program, brothers, they call in to wear black on Colors Day. Well, I find they're a little bit late. Because, you know, how come they don't know that they're just realizing that is the procession of the final funeral. Now, you asked the question earlier on, does the union give back to the members in retirement or otherwise? Well, I cannot speak for the other unions, but I'm quite sure, based on what materialized, the GUT does give back to the members, especially in retirement. That's why the strike fund is broke, whereby they could not pay the striking members. Now listen to this now. Where was Grenada? That is the question sometimes some of these members have to ask the leadership. Where was Grenada economy in 2013? In the toilet. Tell me what the government did since, you know, to revive the economy. They introduced an IMF program. Was it successful? Yes. How many public servants was retrenched and made redundant during that program? None. Are you kidding me? What benefits did we receive as public servants during that time? We received over $110 million in benefits. Over 300 teachers was made permanent. And public servants will receive 70% of their last salary upon retirement. Who else got that kind of benefits? No one else. So what are we really fighting for now? What are we fighting the government for? We are fighting for a 25% cash advance of our pension upon retirement. Gentlemen, this one is for you. Quickly. The Revo taught us about the different modes of production, which are, to the best of my knowledge, are the primitive, slave, and capitalist mode of production. We have been taught to succeed even if the revolution failed. Okay, the revolution failed. What have we done with the knowledge that we have received from the revolution? Not much. As ex-revolutionaries, we're supposed to be the most successful capitalists in the country, but we are not. Gentlemen, I trust you will all have a pleasant weekend.
You too, my friend. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so if the Pol Pot group feel that we don't know that they're meeting, if they feel that don't know what they're planning and how they're strategizing to destabilize this country, we know. We know. Yeah, don't feel we don't know. We know. Because that is what they're doing. And you see parts of the plan coming out from time to time, you know? Because all the time you're hearing government and the unions agree on the 70%. All of a sudden now you have the public workers union. I don't know if it can't be a senior moment. That just has to be malicious. They say they don't know about the 70%. What government proceeding on, they don't know about the 70%. That is a malicious statement. Because what you're basically telling government is forget these people and them. Don't pay no 70%. When we finish this court case, be it 10 years, 5 years, they could dead. That is no problem. Then we go deal with that. When the case finish. The case should never be in relation to pension. It's in relation to gratuity. There's no... And if any judge that goes in front should throw it out.
I want to tell you, some of these union leaders do not care of the members, even the members who have retired and are waiting, right, their pension, right? How can you treat your members like that, blatantly taking away food from their mouth?
No, but you see, right now, comrade sister R and so, they're receiving 100% of their monthly salary, 100%, on time. On time. Yeah, not on the 42nd day of January. On time. They're receiving it. All of a sudden, people don't know that January had 31 days, but we'll talk about that next time. Yeah, on time. They're receiving their salary. But for the people just to receive 70% of their last salary, they find a problem with that. They have a problem. Because it had to be that she have a problem. For she to make that statement, it has to be she have a problem.
They are just trying to... They're basically trying to make something out of nothing. Because you see, from the beginning, you started everything before behind. You took decisions that were incorrect, that were detrimental to your members, and you're trying to save face. Be man and woman enough and come out and say, look, we have made errors, but this is where we want to go now. Right? Negotiate. There is nothing wrong in negotiating and coming up with an agreed settlement that benefits all. And they know that. But some of them are just being pig-headed and bull-headed and figure that they know.
No bad talk, pig.
Right?
No bad talk, pig.
I could afford to do that.
Don't bad talk, pig.
You know, and it makes me feel so sad, right? For our workers who are being dragged into something that they need not get into, all because of some of the leaders. Be careful as to the leaders you put to lead you.
Folks, we're heading up to the 12 o'clock hour, 6 minutes remaining. The phone number 440-7377, that's a 440-7377.
And 347-329-3101.
Remember, all roads head to Grenville tomorrow.
Oh,
it's
yes.
going to be the cultural activity that's going to be taking place in Grenville tomorrow afternoon.
Independence Clash, Grenville, the bus terminus.
I know if I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I might be
Colors.
wrong. I ain't too know.
Colors. And for those of you who encouraging people to wear black, hey, people, I will start it off. Let them know that you are already a black person.
We're helping them spread the message.
So you're wearing the color of your skin is dark. You don't need to put on anything dark on Colors Day. You need to put on the colors of our country. Right? Gold, red,
why are you encouraging
green.
them to spread the message?
No, I cannot understand. Oh.
Why are you encouraging them to spread that message? Let us spread that message on their program.
Depot, thank you. 122 for 1. West Indies. Wow. Picking up the slack.
Yeah. Depot I passed and see Camille yesterday. Camille Day, man. Camille Day.
She did. Not of the best. And so,
she's still a
you know,
pre-independence sale going on.
But, you know, Camille's a fighter. She don't give up.
She 100.
Yeah, she 100, but she fighting.
100, but she did.
She did.
Yeah.
And we did with her.
Helen Marie, good morning, my dear. Hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning. Yeah, I hope that you're having a wonderful day today.
Hey,
all right?
And good morning to Mrs. Fletcher in Budge Grove. Yeah, the other lady, the other seamstress, right, who does such marvelous jobs passing through Budge Grove, and you see all these national colors, different style of dresses and so, you know, national colors. Man, she and Dali, you guys represent St. Andrews.
Let me ask Devon, do you know what the letters CCCP stand for? CCCP.
You bring me back into the whole communist era, man.
Yeah, so what the CCCP? Well, basically that was the
Communist parties.
Russia.
Yeah,
not Russia. The Soviet Union.
Yeah, the abbreviation
for the Soviet Union.
The Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union meaning
within the region,
the couple of countries that were brought together by the Russians to make that
in the Western Hemisphere. Name 2 countries you could still see those letters on anything.
In the Western, you may see some of that still around in Cuba. Perhaps somewhere in Latin America, Central America. You may even see it Venezuela, Nicaragua, you know, some of these countries who still, you know, and so you may, you know, there's still some...
What about Grenada?
It's possible.
So what do you think on the plane and them in pearls?
Yes, you're right.
So I realized that our good friend MP Kate Skeeter-Lewis, the Honorable Kate Skeeter-Lewis, she's doing a project with the planes up there, making it a historical site.
Bravo.
Because if you're heading to the Western Hemisphere, the only place in the English-speaking world in the Western Hemisphere that you will find any artifact that still carries the letters CCCP on it is here in Grenada, in Pearls, in St. Andrew.
Yeah.
That's the only place you'll find that. Although it's not as visible as it used to be, the planes have, well, they went through Ivan and all kind of things. So them planing as they used to be, yeah? They went through Ivan, they went through Emily, you know?
But it's a reminder of our history.
Then they have the sea blast sitting them right through.
Yeah.
But a tourism project is being done there. I know Honorable Delma Thomas is doing one up in Clabany as well. So they have some tourism projects that are taking place in these different areas.
And I've seen over the Granny Tank too, in the facility up there, some much needed work is being done. And so in Granny Tank, and so the railings and other, so to enhance the product, the tourism product that we so much talk about and bring so much benefits to our people, you know, so we need to continue enhancing as we go forward. You know, make it much, you know, not just for the visitors, you know, but for our own people. We got to be tourists in our own land, right? We need to get out there and do things.
One of the things I think that one of the tour companies need to develop is a revolutionary tour. Yeah, we tour and we tell people everything. No, you can't be scared. Eh?
I'm telling you.
There is a certain sort of romanticism that visitors to our country have with the Grenada Revolution.
Of course.
And we should utilize that and make a
tour. You give me a good
tour
idea.
Specific to the Grenada Revolution that includes those planes in Pearls and Fort George and Fort Frederick and
Fort Rupert.
Fort Rupert. Well, you want to go, but you're really going back. So, but several of the facilities around the island, even if you want to see where the Navy SEALs went in Bujeju, the Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 4, where SEAL Team 4 had to run for their life in Bujeju, and other areas like that. And I think that, a tour for visitors in relation to the revolution.
It's that there is a idea that you don't know how far you took that.
Yeah, but I know that people coming here, many people, the only time they actually heard about Grenada is during that period, 1983. Oh, that country that America invaded. And a lot of people heard about us during Hurricane Ivan.
Someone want to say rescue. I don't know what the rescue is all about, but
you was one of the fellas looking to shoot them, so you will say anything.
Of course, I would have solely.
You have a biased perspective.
No, I will defend my country no matter what from foreign invaders.
You have a bias. You have a biased perspective.
I think that's bias. You see, if you were...
You should have fired on them. All now that we're talking about in the past tense.
I did fire them.
No, story changed.
No, I'm saying I was not in the heat of the battle.
The story changed now, Alia.
No, that's not true. Don't tell people that.
The brute.
I've never said that I didn't fire at the Americans. I was never in the heat of the battle in the South and all these type of things.
So you realize that he leave out piece of the information, so this year we will get arrested?
No, there are certain things that...
We know that he went up by PBC, was lining up them helicopter and they didn't fire because he realized he would have killed the residents in the area because the helicopters would have fire on him. We know that he's the one that responsible for mashing up Romain and them place down on Melville Street.
Because
yes, we know. That's why I'm making sure.
That's family affair.
That's why I'm making sure and say Romain place. We know he was the one that make them back the BTR or BDRM or whoever it is into the people place.
BTR.
Right, because he relative place, so he just make them mash up the people place and back the thing into inside it. And he was aiming at them people's ship. So we get the full story, we know. So we will get later this year when he fire on them. Because he leave out that part. He mentioned that part. We will get that part. When he fire on them.
The
full story ain't yet told.
You see, there are things that in places you can say, and there are things that you withheld, from just personal sensationalize. Or you call it? Use the word sensationalize.
Yes, sensationalize.
Right.
You're correct.
You understand? They doing that. So sometimes you have to
we sending Devon as one of the people on that tour.
No, that's an excellent
the invasion tour.
Sheldon, and I'm telling you. If today or tomorrow I decide to get into private business, right?
Pay me for my idea.
That is an excellent idea. And you know what? I will take that up and offer for next year tourism season. I'm going to go talk to the Ministry of Tourism and come up with a project.
Witnesses.
That would bring us to the different locations where the revolutionary spirits and the feelings of the revolution, will be felt. Like the Pearls, the Fort Rupert, the camp in Calivini, right? The Hope Vale camp. And so these are the different militia camps.
The concentration camp in Hope Vale? I
know about concentration. I know about a camp in...
concentration camp, you had my brethren and them down inside in Hope Vale.
Camp Boney,
to grow the army food while they used to beat us with cutlass and cut off we here.
I know about that one. I'm privy to that.
No, because you are here now and don't play in the center. They beat us and cut off we here with cutlass, rusty cutlass.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of persons who made me. But you know what? That's another topic for
we can't bring them to Richmond Hill Prison.
Well, we could bring them on the outskirts. Dr. Friday has a building right at the top there. You could stay there and take that, have a view of it and tell
Revolution tour.
Yeah, where we had,
Before we talk about our business here and somebody tip we idea, we gone. That's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with you. And whatever you say and whatever you do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
All right. We are out of here, folks. Remember, Grenville tomorrow. We're heading up there, man. It's going to be... Yeah, and then
Mass
the Independence Parade, Colors Day coming up. Folks, oh good. Don't do the people that now, man. Nazim, don't do the people that.
Oh God, Nazim, man.
Oh gosh, and I go in there just now. Don't do the people that now, man.
A whole mile and some of beautiful white sand.
Blue, green, white, blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm missing is little red and thing,
Deepo, that one is for you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is for you and Zingo.
Sonia and Chris.
Bye-bye.
Hey,
bye-bye. We go.
Enjoy our nation is its flag.
But me want to see the wine in a real life. The party bad from my roots inside this session. I drunk already because I had some stress and I take some shots. But the amount I take really touch the spot. But remember, on the 6th of February, we touched down Cowpen Big Yard, gonna get Sheldon till building fell down. And remember, we have $1,000 given giveaway for the biggest and the baddest crew, because this is the launch of the big bad tune called Run With It First Fete, and you don't know the whole place gonna get turned over. We run with everything. Remember, it's me, alongside Beanie Man, alongside Farmer Nappy, alongside Valine, alongside Leadneck, Lava Man. You don't know the whole place gonna get. Shall Mr. Killer say so? Party pan! I had some stress, so take some shots. The amount I take really touch the spot.
The pride and joy of a nation is its flag. Its colors and arrangement makes it significant and stunningly beautiful. On Wednesday, February 6th, it's National Colors Day. Every proud Grenadian is asked to deck off in clothing highlighting the colors of our flag. Whether you are dressed for work, daily routines, or casual engagements, showcase the true Grenadian spirit. Every ministry, every department, and all workplaces are encouraged to join in. National Colors Day, Wednesday, February 6, 2019. Endorsed by the National Celebrations Committee. Our people, our colors, our day. On Wednesday, February 6, National Colors Day.
Don't try to tie me up. I love Grenada the most. Wednesday, February the 6th, our fete. Red, green, yellow, cow pen, big yard. It's going to be mad. Salute. Lavaman, the real mad one. Fly the Joan. Independence celebration. You can't trust people, Madam. On the stroke of midnight, it's February 7th. It's our nation's birthday. It's time for the biggest celebration in our nation's history as we celebrate the 45th anniversary of our independence. Folks from all walks of life from all over Grenada will head on down to the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium from 12 p.m. It's the Made in Grenada Expo, a showcase of locally produced goods and services offered on display. As you enter the Independence Village, experience steel band music, big drum dancers from Carriacou, Tambu Bamboo, Shotney, Jab Malasi, poetry, singing, live music, Solid the band, everything Grenadian. At 3:30 p.m. military parade onto the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium, followed by the Independence Rally, cultural pieces, Prime Minister's address, one fun-filled afternoon, not to be missed. Organize your rides, your buses, your motorcade, and head on down to the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium. Thursday, February 7th, celebrating under the theme, building resilience and enhancing social and economic transformation. Grenada, he is coming.
Yes, Naya.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica.
Who got the keys to my bimmer? Who am I?
The undisputed king of dancehall.
From the king of the dancehall.
Come into the cow pen to be part of our 45th independence celebrations.
We are celebrating life.
Our colors, our fete, the night before the holiday.
Let's go to the
cow pen. Wednesday, 6th February. Beanie Man. Get your limited $30 early bird tickets now at major ticket outlets nationwide. Grenada, he is coming.
You want me to go? You can be looking the way you do. You can be hooking
Farmer Nappy, the night before the holiday. It's one place and one place only. Cow pen. Our colors. Our fat. Farmer Nappy is coming. Cow pen. Get your limited $30 early bird tickets now at major ticket outlets nationwide.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.